I have breakdowns every time I walk in here.
Winds nearing 200 miles per hour.
Everything's wiped out.
We may need to take shelter right now ourselves.
We do.
We need to go off the air.
You could not protect them, you could not help them, and you don't know where they are.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
And you always watch TV and say, oh, that would never happen to us.
Unleash me! It's happening all over the world. From the American Midwest to the Philippines, innocent people are dying. Hundreds of billions of dollars in property swept away. Why? Because there's more extreme weather. The proof's in the wreckage. Look at it. Come on. We have to face it. We can no longer afford to hang on to the cavalier reassurances of climate change deniers. 95% of scientists say this is real. Look at the proof from a drone cam showing typhoon wreckage in the Philippines. A representative of the Philippines is calling the climate crisis madness. The Philippines and other so-called developing countries are saying, hey, we're tired of having our land destroyed because of your behavior. They're talking about us, people, Americans. Listen, I'm unleashed on this one. Take a look at this emissions chart. The #1 fossil fuel emitter, China. Now, we all know China's making stuff for the United States, what we buy in America. The second biggest polluter is us, the United States. The Philippines, they're 41 down on the list, doing very little pollution by comparison. So let's cut to the chase, people. Climate change is creating more extreme weather, and we are largely responsible for it. Therefore, we are at least partially responsible for that, the devastation in the Philippines. When it comes to climate change, we are hurting ourselves too, obviously. Just look at the killer tornadoes devastating the Midwest. It's heartbreaking. It's a tragedy that we can turn around with very modest changes to our lifestyle. So take a look at these photos of a house before and after it was devastated by a tornado. Here's my question. Would you prefer to keep the house and make your carbon footprint just a little smaller? Or would you prefer to lose your house entirely and possibly your life? Mark Flogel of Greenpeace. How do we get people to understand this is real?
It's coming to a neighborhood near you. If it's the Philippines this year, last year it was Sandy in New York and New Jersey. The year before that it was Irene up in Vermont. We are now living in a post-climate change era. It's here. The question is, how bad will it get? And that's going to be up to us.
There are so many things that can be done. We don't need plastic. Look at this obvious choice, cardboard. Okay, but is the government encouraging cardboard? No. Mark, why isn't the government doing more?
The same people who are making those plastic bottles, the oil industries, are making huge campaign contributions here in Washington, D.C. That's what's getting in the way. We're being politically crippled by the same people who are pumping tons of CO2 into the atmosphere and are causing climate change.
Well, one way you can get involved is join Greenpeace. Full disclosure, I'm a member. I have been for years.
Thank you.
We've got to band together. We've got to band together and change our habits. Our lives depend on it.